As I'm sure that you guys have already heard, the San Francisco 49ers were poking around for a potential wide receiver trade. The 49ers were looking into John Metchie, who was recently traded from the Houston Texans to the Philadelphia Eagles. And that begs the question, are they done yet? And I believe the answer is no. We know the San Francisco 49ers are dealing with multiple injuries at the position. We did get some encouraging sights from the preseason game against the Raiders when you saw Brandon Ayuk warming up, running routes, catching passes from Brock Purdy. It was encouraging. So you love to see that. Juwan Jennings still dealing with a calf injury. We do know that Ricky Pearsall has been banged up this offseason, although he is healthy and moving really well right now. We do know that Jacob Cowing, kind of a similar boat. He had missed majority of training camp, has been back for a couple days. And we know Jordan Watkins, the 49ers promising rookie, is dealing with a high ankle sprain and is expected to miss about a month. So the 49ers have options. DeMarcus Robinson. They also have Russell Gage, who I do think has a chance to make this roster. But I do find it interesting that they were discussing a trade for a wide receiver. Now, they didn't get John Metchie because it was reported the Texans liked the return from the Philadelphia Eagles more than what the 49ers had offered. But I would have to assume that if there are any wide receivers who could potentially be available for a late day 3 pick swap, I would imagine that the 49ers would be interested. Now, I don't think that they would be willing to spend a ton of capital on a wide receiver right now, but I do think that they would be willing to take a flyer on a potential talent who maybe hasn't panned out with their current team or, is looking for a change of scenery. But I don't necessarily expect the San Francisco 49ers to make any splash moves because if you guys know anything about John Metchie, he did have some potential, coming out of Alabama, but just has never really latched on with the Houston Texans. The Texans went and drafted a whole bunch of wide receivers, indicating that they've moved on. But will the 49ers throw their hat into the mix and try to get their hands on another wide receiver? I don't know. I've been trying to think of other wide receivers that are similarly in that same type of position I just can't really think. It's funny, I was actually talking about John Metchie on Friday, just about how, because I was having a conversation with someone about the Texans, and we're talking about their wide receiver room. We're talking about how, John Metchie's probably going to get cut. And sure enough, he gets traded before he could get cut, which is smart business by the Houston Texans. I'm sure there are going to be options that are available where a team is going to release a player, and if they can get a late round pick swap or something of that for a player opposed to just cutting them, I'm sure they would do that, and the 49ers might be picking up the phone to make that trade. So I wouldn't say that the 49ers are done, but I wouldn't say that if you're expecting them to go out and get a wide receiver 2 or even a wide receiver 3, I don't believe that's what they're in the business for right now. I think they're looking for a potential fringe guy, maybe even a practice squad guy that they could keep around. We'll see. We'll see what the 49ers come up with. We'll see if they pull the trigger on anything. But let me know, are there any players in mind that you could think of that are in similar positions as John Metchie? Do you think the 49ers should call a certain team about a certain player? If you have one, drop it in the comments. I'd be interested to see, because again, like I said, I really don't have another guy like John Metchie at the top of my mind right now. But you let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.